Hey, Pastor, if you're facing growth challenges right now, you're trying to figure out how to scale, how to align your staff, and really how to get after the work that God's called you to do in that community, we would love to come alongside you. And I want you to know, we just opened up a brand new mastermind specifically for churches under 500. And if that's interesting to you, go to readysetgrow.church to find out more information and see if this is a fit for your journey right now. Hello there. Welcome to the Breaking 1000 podcast. I am Mark Brewer, your host, and I've got Scott Wilson and Hunter Wilson with us today. First of all, thank you. Everybody that's liking these podcasts and subscribing, it's been really awesome. And so we just want to give a big shout out to you guys. And we're glad that we're providing some benefit for you guys on this journey. One of the things that we've noticed is high performance pastors are often they're just never happy. It's like they're not content. It's just a struggle to just go, man, today is a good day. And we've talked about that reality a lot. How do you handle that as a high-performing pastor and actually have a day where you go, this is a good day, and I'm happy with what God's doing?
Well, I think it feels like a risk, first of all. It feels like a risk to that because they think, I can't be content because it would mean that I've become complacent.
Right.
And there's so much more for me. Like, I know there's so much bigger, so many big things that God's put in my heart of where I want the church to go, where we're going in the future. Like, where we're going out there is so big. I can't be content now.
That's super big. I want to double down just a second on that. So if you think of that as a continuum, meaning the more content I am, the more complacent I am.
That's the belief.
They're not the
That's
synonym.
hard.
People think they're synonyms.
Yeah.
They say, I have a holy discontent. And what that isn't a whole, there is no such thing as a holy discontent. Paul says, I have found the secret to contentment, whether I have plenty, whether I don't have enough, whether I'm in a struggle, whatever. No matter what it is, I can be content in the Lord. I can be content in who I am in Him, in my identity of who I am. I'm always winning because I'm in obedience with the Lord. That's what he's saying. So it's not if I'm complacent, if I'm content. Contentment is no matter what's going on, I know I'm in where God wants me to be and doing it. That's a place of health. The complacency is, I don't care. I do care.
I think that's the first tension point that anybody listening to this has to ask themselves is, do I believe that I can be content with what I have today and where I'm at today? Can I be fully loved and fully respected by my peers, by my spouse? Like, can I be fully loved where I'm at right now? I know for me, like, it's kind of like the Mr. Rogers type of thing, is I love you like just the way you are right now type of thing. It's like, yeah, I know, but there's so much more I have. Like, there's so much more I can grow into. There's so much, I can become so much better than I am right now. So like, I know you say you love me, but like, you don't even know what I can become. And I think they do that on the organizational level too. And it's like this belief that you have to ask yourself is, can I be content with myself? And can I be content with what God has given me in this organization, where I'm at today, and still believe that there's so much more to go in the future?
It just reminded me of the Matthew 25, Jesus having talking about the master of the three servants. One gets 5 talents, 2 talents, and 1 talent. And you could be a 2-talent guy, and you're not content because you're not a 5-talent guy. Or you can be, I'm content because that's what the master entrusted to me.
Yeah.
That's what he gave to me. Instead of being frustrated with what I don't have, or feeling cocky because I got 2 and the guy had 1, is I'm content. He assigned me 2, and I'm going to work to double it to 4. Instead of saying, why did he give the other guy 5? Forget it. I'm out. This is stupid,
Yeah, I want to.
How do you do that?
I want to give a big shout out to a book that you and I love a lot by Dr. Benjamin Hardy and Dan Sullivan. Dan Sullivan's a big high performance coach. Same with Benjamin Hardy. He's amazing. They have a book called The Gap and the Gain. And I think this framework does a lot of helping the inner psyche of how do you measure your performance? right?
Yeah.
And so what they say is there's a difference between a gap mindset and a gain mindset. Here's how it works. So with high performers, they have where they're at today. Okay, where they're at today.
Yeah.
Gap person or gain person, they have where they're at today. They have ideals of where they want to be in the future. Okay, so a person that's content can have big dreams. A person that's discontent can have big dreams.
Yes.
Doesn't matter. Gap mindset, gain mindset. They have big dreams, right? Here's the difference. What happens when we start is, let's say that we make daily progress towards this, because either one could be a high performer. So I'm going to make progress towards this ideal. And so they get a little bit further and they have what they achieved. Here's the difference. When they look out and they measure their progress, one looks at the gap between where they're at now.
So what still exists.
To the horizon in the future.
Yeah.
They
To
say,
that ideal.
okay, how can I be happy? I'm like a mile into this 100-mile journey. I have 99 miles to go.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
So they're like, gosh, the glass is half empty, pessimist type thing, right? The glass is half empty, whatever. I have 99 miles to go. How could I be happy with this? The gain mindset is always measuring backwards. So while the gap mindset measures the gap between where they're at and where they want to be,
Forward, yes.
the gain mindset measures backwards.
Right.
Saying,
Wow.
look at how far I've come between where I started and where I'm at today. The biggest difference is not that one has smaller dreams or has become a person that is just,
Complacent.
hey, I don't care anymore. Like, who cares? Like, none of this matters anyways. No. That's not the difference. The difference is the gain mindset looks at how much progress they've made, and every day can be a win because every day is moving a little bit further and further to the ideal.
So like what you just said, both of them have a 100-mile journey, if we're going to use that metaphor. Both the gap guy and the gain guy mindsets want to go 100 miles. They both, in, say, a month, made a mile of progress, or even a year, however you want. In the same time, let's say they both did the same. The gap guy is going, I can't be happy. I got 99 more miles to go.
Exactly.
The gain guy's going, wow, I've made a mile progress. I am a mile closer to the objective than I was before. Look at the gain.
Well, I like the framework, and I like the idea behind it. I'm just wondering, how do you really do that? Like, I've been around you guys as leaders for a long time, and is it just as easy for you to go, hey, here's the gain, there's the gap, and I'm good? Or how do you navigate through that personally,
well, first
professionally?
of all, it's not static. It's not like I'm always a gain guy. You can easily fall back into gap thinking anytime something happens. It's not like, hey, I'm a gain guy.
What are some of the things that might even trigger you fall backing?
Somebody in the church leaves. Somebody in the church, or hey, our attendance is down from last month to this month. Our giving was down.
So you
Are you
can
taking? I
fall
can go
back every Monday.
Let me go down the list.
Yeah.
I mean,
You know what's interesting too is it's not just a matter of time. It's like, oh, I slipped back into it. It's also domain specific, meaning I can be a gain guy at work and be like, team, look at how far we've come. Look at this. Then you go home and step on the scale and be like, I suck, dude.
Even though you might have lost 3 pounds, you're going like,
I have so much more to go.
I got to lose.
And you know what it is? I think a lot of this comes down to motivational energy source to keep going.
Yeah.
Okay, like check this out, okay? So the gap mindset is not trying to just hurt themselves to hurt themselves. What they're doing is they believe that if I do the carrot and the stick method, I am going to want to pursue that. And all I got to do is keep reminding myself of the pain, because one day, once I get there and complete that 100-mile journey, that's when I'll be happy.
The problem is when you live in the gap, it doesn't matter how close, even if you hit the ideal, you're still gap thinking.
And what it is you're training yourself every single day to be in the gap. And so as soon as you even accomplish your wildest dreams and become a millionaire or whatever it is,
not enough.
right? you might be able to sit in that for a day or two until you reset the parameters and you have a new 100-mile journey.
It's what you said a while ago on horizon. You can have that horizon out there, and I'm going to go to that horizon, but the horizon's always moving. It always keeps moving. As you move, it moves.
Yeah.
And so that's how it happens in a gap mindset. So I think one of the things we do to mitigate that is we actually have cooldowns, cycles and cooldowns. And so we're saying, hey, we know we want to do this in 3 years. We want to double in 3 years as a church. But in the next cycle, the next 3 months, this is what we specifically want to do. This is the mile we want to make. And at the end of it, in the cool down, we're evaluating and say, look, in the heartbeat, we look how much we did.
Okay, so let me call quick timeout. What I think I heard you say is we have a systemized way to honor the gain that has happened in this particular season. Otherwise, you always default to living in the gap.
Well, if you
just can't help it.
If you don't mark where I am, and then mark where I'm wanting to go in this time frame, and then schedule a time to evaluate that process, you can't measure backwards because you don't even have 2 points to measure.
Yeah.
You don't have you don't have that place to even see
Which
your
is
growth.
something we see, the catechism of the Hebrews and the Jewish people is their calendar. You see these specific seasons that God says, okay, guys, let's call a timeout and let's celebrate what I have been doing in and through you guys in this season. You're formalizing getting into this gain mindset.
Yes.
Yeah, and I think this is so interesting in this, and Dad and I have geeked out on this. So obviously the first best thing would be go read the book. That's like, I don't want to do a book recap here. I'll tell you some stuff that's worked for me. There's the organizational side as I'm thinking about how do I have my whole team be in the gain mindset, right? And then there's the personal side. So you just did a great job of talking about that is every cool down, which is after a 90-day cycle, I want to review the past cycle, look at all the wins, and then transition it and say, because of how much we just did,
right,
the natural next step is to dream even bigger about what we can do, because look at how amazing we are as a team, right? So the reflection of the past and celebrating of the wins is the fuel to go that next mile, right? It's kind of like instead of dangling the carrot, it's like, let's actually eat the carrot, get the fuel from it, and let's go another mile. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And on the individual side, what I've recognized is my thoughts. I'm not a good... it's funny because like I get paid to think, like that my job is to think and solve problems, but I don't do it well in my head. And when I'm spiraling in my head with a highly emotive process, when I'm sad or when I'm feeling a feeling that you would categorize as like a bad feeling or a negative feeling, I can't self-correct into the gain mindset without getting it out of my head and onto paper.
Yeah, that's good.
So sometimes what I do is I like to just type out my prayers and I like to type out my journaling, either by hand or whatever. I just can't do it in my head. I can't go in a linear process. So sometimes I'm just typing out kind of like the morning pages type of thing of just like getting it all out of my head. Sometimes it's easier to just get it all out of my head and be like, all of that right there, that's gap thinking. I'm sad because I'm like, God, I wish I should be further by now. I should be so much better than I am right now. Like I've said I wanted to be a dad that does this. I said I wanted to run every single day and do this, and I've only run 3 times this week. It's like, whatever it is, right? I get it out in the paper, and then I need a reframe. So sometimes that is just like, all of that right there, let's put that as a heading 1 called gap. Now let's go into the gain mindset, and that helps me. Another thing is like Dad and I have become, he's become my gain partner. There are people I think in life, could be a best friend. It could be somebody that you work with, could be your spouse. That is like, you're probably my number 1 trigger that's going to get me into gap thinking. Either because you're a negative person, naturally, like tend to do that, or because we are pursuing a big pursuit together, and it's really easy for both of us to slip into that mindset of, dude, we have so much work to do. We have so much. And what we have to do is both of us can slip into that, and then we have to call each other out of it is like, I think that's a gap thinking. We need to switch it. And having a gain partner, getting your thoughts out of your head, and then setting up systems as an organization to review the past and then reframe it as a gain of look at how far we've come. Here's our next journey ahead. I think really helps me as like the top 3 things. Would you add into that?
One of the reasons why we're game buddies like this is because our game partners, I was in game, whatever, is you trust me that I'm not lowering the bar on the idea, hey, it's okay. We're going to be like this. I trust you in the same way that we have the ideals and we're not shrinking the ideals. I'm just reminding you to live in the gain. I'm reminding you, hey, dude, I know you're doing that, but look how far we've come. I know you wanted to run every day, but you ran 3 times today, and last year you weren't even running.
And I think that's the biggest, like this is so big because I think the people that are listening to this being like, that's a nice thought, but really what you're doing is you're like enabling him, or you're setting himself up to be like, hey, dude, it's fine. Lower your expectations. Like, and it's like, no, I'm not going to do that because I'm going to aim for the moon. And even if I miss, I'll get a bunch of stars. Like, I'm going to constantly be dissatisfied because it's going to fuel me to keep going. It's like, dude, the best way to be in a position to make improvements in your life is to not have a position where you're constantly in a poured out, flipped mindset of like, dude, I am so stressed and I need to find a way to cope with this because I can't.
Yeah, you're going to go get unhealthy
coping
mechanisms that are going to mess you up. Secondly, think about this. Your family, if I'm the dad, you know what mom used to say, my wife, your mom, would say all the time is, I don't care if you're successful. I just want you to be happy. Yeah. Because when you come home, if you're happy, we're all happy. If you're not happy, you screw us all up. And so her deal wasn't, is it good or bad? It's, are you good or bad? Yeah. Are you in a good or bad mindset? And so when we have a gap mindset, it's not only it's giving us a depleted fuel status, we're on empty trying to go the next mile. But secondly, it's impacting our family and it's impacting our team. Let's say people on my staff, I got them to read The Gap and the Gain, and they're reading it and they're trying to stay in gain mindset. But as a leader, I keep living in the gap. Guess what? They can't consistently live in the gain if I'm the leader living in a gap. I determine that level of where that is as a leader and the influencer in our house and in the organization.
Yeah, so I think what I've heard so far is, number one, we're all going to have a tendency as leaders to process through either gap or gain. Okay, and you have a predisposition, and oftentimes for high capacity leaders, it's going to be around the gap mindset. Secondly, you have a very simple approach to exposing where is my thinking right now. Is it gap or gain? By getting what's on your mind out of your mind and onto paper. Thirdly, you got a gain partner that isn't trying to lower the bar for you, that you trust. Dude, they want to go hit that next horizon, but they're also my gain partner to help me see some of the things that I'm not being able to expose because where I'm at. What else?
I think
would help us on this?
The last thing that's in my mind that I think is very important is you're processing it in your journal and your prayer time of, hey, that's gap thinking. Let me turn it to gain. One of the things we do is daily 3, weekly 3, because what you do daily is going to end up how you function weekly, how you function monthly, how you function annually, and in your life. So you got to bring it down to not just cycles and cooldowns, but daily goals. So we all function this way with a daily 3 every day. In the night before, we've actually done it, but in the morning we state, these are the 3 most important things I need to do today to stay in alignment with the most important things for the week.
And it's a win. And if I get these 3 things done, that's actually a win.
So then by the end of the day, like work day, we do a shutdown 10 minutes to evaluate, did I do them? So I've even changed on mine. I don't know if you've noticed because we all report to each other. I changed it from yes to win.
I was reading through yours last night.
Because what I'm doing is I'm saying, these are the 3 things that will get done today. And at the end of the day, I'm going to measure where I was this morning to where I am now. Instead of what I didn't get done, I got the 3 most important things done, and I win every day.
Yeah.
I win, win, win. All I do is win, win, win.
It should
Then
be
you
a
just
song
keep
or
doing it.
something.
I know.
You know what's interesting about this is, especially if you do a digital task manager, when most systems are set up to when you check off the item, it disappears. But that doesn't mean that you've processed it as a win yet.
Yeah.
The review at the end of the day reflects back at the log of everything that I did today.
Yeah.
And not just like, well, yeah, I was going to do something anyways. It's looking at the log and being like, dude, I just made like 14 steps today.
Yeah, I just realized how much this is impacting me psychologically, because it used to be like I'd come home and Jenny would go, so how was your day? I'll go, it's fine. Now it's like I go, dude, I kicked butt today.
You have data.
I keep saying
You have data.
now I'm going, dude, today I got so much done. Why? Because I'm measuring from where I was this morning to where I am at now.
God, it's really super
amazing.
good. And it's not actually intuitive is what we're exposing here today. It's not an intuitive skill set. It's something that we've had to systematically work at and then keep our eyes on.
I think, just as a final thought here, this is not a coping mechanism just so you can be happier. I actually think it's a fuel to help you be a higher performer.
Yeah.
Love that.
Hey, let me end it with this, that I think it's not just high capacity leaders who struggle with this. I think it's part of our Western culture. One of the things he talks about in the book is even our Declaration of Independence that says, you know, we think that our inalienable rights is life. What is it?
Liberty.
Life, liberty, and the
pursuit of
pursuit.
Yeah.
He doesn't say happiness.
It's not
It's the
happiness,
pursuit,
it's the pursuit.
of happiness. Because actually, the writers of the document were talking about, they don't even know that happiness is something that you can have. It's that God meant for us to pursue it all the time so it would motivate us. That's in our psyche. It's in our culture of, we may never be happy, but the best we can get is to try to get close to it.
And I like how this life leadership guys said it. They said it's happiness is the byproduct of a life well lived.
Yeah.
And what you're talking about with the gain mindset is you are showing your life today has actually been well lived. And you can
You know
land on
that whole thing about one of the saddest things is somebody who's climbing a ladder only to get to the top and realize he was leaning against the wrong wall.
Mm-hmm.
What we're doing in this gain mindset is every morning on that daily 3, I'm saying, this is the wall. That's the most important thing I could do today.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to go climb it.
It's a good one.
And then when I climb it and I'm at the top, I not only won, I won at the right thing, the most important thing. And that's where every day I live in the gain. And I've built a system to remind myself I am winning.
It's good. If I could pick this mic up, I'd drop it, but Joel would get mad. Hey, thank you guys for joining us here today. So good and helping us understand the gap and the gain mindset. If there's a question or a topic that you'd like to tee up on this podcast with us, just shoot us an email at hey, Hey, at readysetgrow.church, and we'll look forward to seeing you down the road.